Good morning, soccer fans, and welcome to our weekly edition of Onside. Joining me this morning is former Manning Rangers league winner Gavin Radford. Gav, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Alex. Nice to be here. Hope we can find a few winners for the supporters out there.
That's good. Gav, we'll kick off on Monday. Crystal Palace 3, Arsenal 0. Is this the end of Arsene Wenger?
I think Arsenal have very good players. I think the morale in the team is very low. I think Wenger has to go, and if he goes, players' fortunes will turn.
Okay, so the 6-10 Arsene Wenger not to be there at the beginning of next year. You're a taker.
Good bet.
All right. Tuesday night saw the start of the Champions League, quarterfinal first leg. Juventus 3, Barcelona 0. What's happening at the back at Barcelona?
Barcelona, too many slow players at the back. I think their defensive line is too slow. I think Juventus at home, very strong. Barcelona will try and get out of it, but Juventus will hold them.
Not for you. Barcelona 14-1 to win the Champions League. Worth an interest?
No, definitely not.
Not well, they put 6 past PSG, second leg of the last round. Can they do it again?
The Juventus back three, far too experienced, all international players. Yeah. Can't see them coming back.
Okay. Well, one of the unfortunate incidents was the bomb blast in Dortmund on Tuesday. It started last night, a little bit earlier. Dortmund 2, Monaco 3. Great game. Can they come back, Dortmund?
Dortmund, very good side. At home, away from home, not as prolific. Mm-hmm. I think the Monaco side have improved immensely. They've got young players. Yeah. I think they will hold them this time.
Yeah, I've got to fancy Monaco to get to the semis. Atletico Madrid 1, Leicester 0. Good result for Leicester?
I think it's a very good result for Leicester. I think Leicester will play a high-tempo game back at home. Yeah. The crowd will be on their side. And a ticket that everybody were looking for.
Yeah, no doubt about that. Yeah. And then the big game of the quarterfinals, Bayern Munich 1, Real Madrid 2. Now, I couldn't believe Lewandowski wasn't playing. They obviously kept that quiet. Can they turn it over?
I think the red card upset them. In the first half, you looked at the game, Bayern Munich were on top of them. Yep. Bayern Munich were playing their normal high-tempo game. Madrid were quite happy to come away with the draw, and then the sending off and the game changed. Yeah. I think that Real Madrid will be too good at home.
Yeah, missed penalty costs them. You know, Vidal, good head of the first one, scored the penalty before half-time, different game, but I agree, a lot to do, even though Lewandowski comes back. 100%. Our boys, Man United, in Belgium tonight. Can we get a positive result?
Man United away from home, unbeaten in 21 league games. Yeah. I think in the Europa League, I think we've got more experience in the Europa League. And I think we'll get a result.
Yeah, we got to. It's the only way we're going to get into the Champions League. Now we go on to the Premiership fixtures for the weekend. It starts off with Tottenham at home to Bournemouth. I know Bournemouth have drawn their last 3 away games. They drew at Liverpool, drew at Man United. Can they upset Tottenham?
Free scoring Tottenham at the moment. I don't give Bournemouth much of a chance at this game. Not with Spurs at home in the form that they're in.
Yeah, I know they've won their last 11 at home. I think there'll be goals in that, but I just don't see Bournemouth upsetting. Now, my best bet of the weekend, Crystal Palace against Leicester.
I have to agree with you on this one. Leicester just finished playing in the Champions League. Yeah. I think they will rest a few players. Yeah. Palace in very good form, scoring goals again. Big Sam's got them going. Yeah. Crystal Palace, good things.
Yeah, I just thought that Leicester, you saw them against Everton, their mind's on the Champions League. Also, it's 1-0. If they got blown out, I think it could have been a different story. But 1-0, he's got no option to rest. Everton, the form team in England the last few weeks against Burnley. Local derby, Everton continue the home winning streak.
Everton to shade this one. Burnley always difficult to beat, yeah. But Everton will hold them at home.
Yeah, I got to fancy Everton, the way Lukaku's playing up front. Now, my trick game of the weekend, Stoke City, who buried me last week, at home to Hull City, who at home are hard to beat, away from home a struggle. Can you see an upset?
I can see a draw on this game, to be honest. Hull City, all to play for, getting to the end of the season. Stoke really in comfort zone at the moment, mid-table. I can see this being a draw.
Yeah, you know, Hull have only taken 1 point from the last 14 away games. But, you know, watching Stoke, I don't know, they worry me, especially at home. You know, I can see Hull getting something out of this. I may be completely wrong, but this is my lurker of the weekend. Next game we go on to Sunderland versus West Ham. Now they haven't scored in their last 7 league games, Sunderland. Can they upset West Ham?
Well, here's two teams that are really struggling.
Yeah.
Both teams looking over their shoulder to the end of the season relegation. West Ham all to play for.
Yeah.
I see another draw on the cards.
You like a draw? I think West Ham, Andy Carroll comes back. Sunderland, even watch them against Man United. I know Amachebi's come back up front, but the fans look like they're relegated, and that's my concern. They'll come first 30 minutes, nice and fired up, then I think the crowd will turn on them. For me, I'm all over West Ham. Following game is Watford versus Swansea. I know Swansea had a great run, but then Loriente got injured, and they've got 1 point from the last 5 games. Can they get out of it?
Swansea, they always give you the impression that they're coming back to form, and then they drop points after they get a good result. Watford, also fighting relegation. I think they're sitting 10th and 18th in the log table. I think Watford will shave this one 1-0.
Yeah,
be a goal in it. Both teams to score, mate.
Yeah, I think this will be an open game. Watford are open gates at the back. Swansea have to go for it. They're third bottom. They're 2 points behind Hull. They've got to get something out of this. Otherwise, they'll be in a bit of bigger trouble. Now, the game I think will be the game of the weekend. Southampton versus Man City. Well, that's goal-wise anyway. Southampton should have beat us in the League Cup. Come right the last few games. Can they upset Man City?
Southampton team, very good at home.
Yeah.
Very good players, good passing team. They like the ball to move around. Again, I think that Man City, with the touch of class that they have and looking to secure a top 4 berth, I think they will also just shade this one, Man City, away from
Man
home.
City, yeah.
I don't really like to take the teams away from home,
Yeah.
but Man City with a little bit of class will get through this one.
Yeah, they have the players to win, no doubt. West Brom, who dummied me last week badly, versus Liverpool. It's a Sunday lunchtime kickoff in England anyway. West Brom, Gav?
Tony Poulos, I hope he doesn't set his stall out to defend and draw this game and look for a point, because, the West Brom side are very difficult to break down when he sets his team up. Liverpool, Missy Mani up front. Again, I think Liverpool will just shade this one. Midday game. Hot. Could be a close game, but I think Liverpool will shade it.
Fancy Liverpool, yeah. Well, then the big game of the weekend, as far as egos go. Man United, unbeaten in 21 league games, have you said, against Chelsea. 7 points clear. I can't have Man United in this game. What do you think?
I'm a Man United fan.
Yeah.
But I'm going to have to go with Chelsea on this one. They've beaten us in the last 4 games. A very tight affair. United are playing midweek, Thursday night, coming back. I think United could rest a few players. Chelsea will win this one.
You think he'll rest Zlatan even though he doesn't want Chelsea to win the league?
Zlatan will play. He's not going to lie down. He will want to play the big games, being a big player. But with Hazard in the form that he's in, Costa up front, I think they will just beat us for this one.
So I think this could be a draw. And the last game is Middlesbrough, who to me look dead and buried, versus Arsenal, who have lost 6 of the last 8 away league games. Is there hope for Arsenal to get in the top 4?
Well, if Arsenal don't win this game, then I can see there being a riot at the stadium against Wenger. But I think Arsenal will bounce back. They've got the players. I think the players are hurting. Wenger's hurting. Middlesbrough can't score goals. I think Arsenal will win this game comfortably.
If Arsenal can't win this game, they won't win anything, especially away from
100%.
home. In midweek, we saw a few PSL games. Last night, there were wins for Kaizer Chiefs over Bloemfontein Celtic. Orlando Pirates won their first league game in a long time. They beat Maritzburg at home. Bidvest Wits cemented their place at the top with an easy victory over Golden Arrows. And a crucial game near the bottom, Ajax beat Highlands Park. Your old coach, Gordon Egerson. Highlands Park, can they get out of it? I know they're only 3 points away from 4 or 5 teams. 1 point behind Barocca. Can you see them getting out of it?
I can't see Highlands getting out of it. I don't think they have that X factor in any of their players. I think they're a run-of-the-mill team. Don't score enough goals, conceding poor goals defensively. I can't see them getting out of it. Gordon will try. Gordon's a very good tactician. But I don't think he's going to wave his magic on this one.
To me, their home form's a key to survival. They don't get good results at home. I think they're in trouble. This weekend, we've got games that start on Friday. There are 2 games tonight. The Swanee Derby, Sundowns play SuperSport and Platinum Stars play the team, I think, of the dark horses in the league, Cape Town City. But Friday night kicks off Maritzburg versus Baroka. Now, I thought Baroka were dead and buried. They've won their last 2 games. They're unbeaten in 4. You know, they beat SuperSport away. They drew with Chiefs. Can you smell an upset in the capital?
No, not this one. Baroka flattered to deceive. They have their moments. They've had too much of a poor season to now turn it around and make it into a good season for themselves. The fact that they're just off a few points in the league is that they are fighting. But Maritzburg United at home, who have taken some big scalps there,
yeah, they have.
I think Maritzburg United will shade this one.
Yeah, I've got to agree with you, but I wouldn't leave the draw out of that game. Golden Arrows versus Ajax Cape Town. You know, Arrows stuck Sundowns out in the Nedbank Challenge last Saturday. Whether it was a hangover, whether they got beat by Witse midweek. Favourites to beat Ajax?
I think so. I think Clinton Larson is doing an excellent job with them. Clinton's playing a very offensive game. He likes to attack. I think he's got the players around him. Home ground advantage will play a big role, Ajax having to travel.
Yeah.
I think Golden Arrows will get up to win this 2-0.
Yeah, Ajax, one of those funny teams. They draw a lot of games. Won't be easy for Arrows, but obviously you've got to fancy them. Now the team everybody seems to have come out the woodwork, Kaizer Chiefs. They won 7, drawn 3 the last 10 league games. They're in second position. But they face their bogey team. I watched the game in I think it was Mdatsani, where Chipper beat them 3-1. Chiefs too good?
Chiefs on the form that they're on.
Yeah.
Dan Malasela will have his Chipper side up for it. I think everybody wants to beat Kaizer Chiefs. But Chiefs at home in Johannesburg, too good for Chipper.
Yeah, should be, but I always get worried about these bogey teams, you know. Harlan's Orlando Pirates. You know, Gordon used to coach Pirates. Difficult afternoon or difficult evening for Gordon?
Definitely a definite. Pirates, I can't see them losing this game. I think they're in form. They have the players.
Yeah.
Their boys up front are looking sharp again. A little bit more belief in the team.
Yeah.
Highlands Park really struggling, like I said earlier. Pirates to win this comfortably.
Yeah, okay. I'll also throw the draw in, you know. I think this won't be easy for Pirates, but obviously you've got to fancy them. And the last game, Sunday, Free State Stars versus Sundowns. Now, Sundowns haven't won in 5. Their last 3 games at home, they drew 0-0. Is their league aspirations? I know they're on the outskirts. What do you think? Can they win the league, Sundowns?
I said a 2-horse race in the league, Sundowns and Wits.
Yeah.
But for me, for this game against Free State Stars, Sundowns could lose 5, 6, 7 games and it'd always be favourites to win. They've got the players. Pitso's got a very good squad. He's got a big squad of players. Sundowns to win it 2-1, 3-1. There'll be goals in this game.
You like the goals, eh? Okay. Well, we go forward to the Soccer 6 Exotic for the weekends. We spend our customary 216 Rand. The first game, I've gone the field with Golden Arrows against Ajax Cape Town. Now, I've banked Real Madrid. Now, some people may question that, but they've got so many players, James Rodriguez, Isco, Morata up front. I think they'll be too good for a Sporting Gion side who open gates at the back. I've thrown the lurker in. I've thrown the bogey team, Chipper United, to hopefully get a draw and make this exotic pay. So I've gone Chiefs in the draw. Now, Bidvest Wits are playing in the CAF Confederation Cup. They drew 0-0 at Mill Park last week. I don't see them going to Egypt and getting a result. To me, I think Gavin Hunt's biggest aspiration is winning the league. I don't see them getting a result, so I've gone Smoa, win and draw against Bidvest Wits. I've gone for the upset with Highlands and Orlando Pirates, 1-2-3, and I've banked Barcelona, who have played Real Sociedad 21 times at home, and they've won 20 and drawn 1. The second exotic is the English Premiership. I've banked Crystal Palace to beat Leicester. Everton, I think, will be too good for Burnley. I've gone the field Stoke with Hull City. I've gone West Ham in the draw against Sunderland. I've thrown the draw in Watford and the draw against Swansea. And I've gone the field, Southampton versus Man City. The Soccer 10, our customary 4 bankers, 3 win and draws and 3 fields. I've banked Crystal Palace and Everton. I've gone the field with Stoke and Hull City. I've gone win and draw West Ham over Sunderland. I've gone win and draw Watford against Swansea. I've banked Aston Villa. They've been in good form in the Championship, especially at home. Reading away from home have been terrible. I've gone the field in the Scottish Premiership. They're both in and out teams, St Johnstone and Aberdeen. I'm looking for the upset with Southampton and Man City. Now, Gwincamp, this is a League One game. They've done well in the French League One, especially at home the last few weeks. Toulouse you've got to go against a team with a name like Toulouse. But their last 9 away league games, they've only scored 2 goals. So I think Gwynkamp will be too good for them. Likewise, I've gone for Lille against Rennes. Rennes have only won one of the last 16 matches. You know, Lille away from home, they've only lost 1 game, and that was at PSG. So I'm going win and draw Lille. The Soccer 13, we've got our customary 5 bankers and 8 win and draws. I've banked Crystal Palace, Everton. I've gone win and draw Man City over Southampton. Likewise, Stoke City over Hull. West Ham over Sunderland and Watford over Swansea. I've banked Aston Villa. I've gone Aberdeen in the draw against St Johnstone. I've gone Chelsea win and draw over Man United. Hopefully I'm going to put the mark on Liverpool, but I think they'll be too good for the Sunday lunchtime kickoff at West Brom. Now the last 3 games are all from the Swedish Allsvenskan. I was going to go for Östersunds to beat Örebro, but Östersunds play a Swedish Cup final tonight. So I think they'll rest a few players or rotate them. So I've gone Örebro and the draw. Elfsborg are a far better team than Djurgårdens. While it's a 1-2-3 game, we can't go that way. So I've gone Elfsborg in the draw, and Malmö are the best team in Sweden. I've got banked them. Now, Budgie's best bets. The English quartet. I've gone Crystal Palace to beat Leicester. I've gone West Ham to beat Sunderland. I've gone Aston Villa to beat Reading. Those 3 teams all have to win. And I've gone Chelsea win and draw against Man United. That worked out at 1900 to 200. Now, the over 2.5 goal games, I've gone Tottenham, Bournemouth, Stoke, Hull, Southampton, Man City, and West Brom versus Liverpool. Both teams to score, which we do every week. I've gone Watford, Swansea, Stoke, Hull, Southampton, Man City, and hoping to end it up Sunday lunchtime, West Brom versus Liverpool, 1760 to 200. Now, the match bet on both teams to score is the one we started to do weekly because the odds are quite good. I've gone Crystal Palace to beat Leicester and Everton to beat Burnley, and all 4 teams have to score. That worked out 2,300 to 200. Then the Spanish quartet, which looks a bit of a mouthful. I've gone Eibar to beat Real Betis, Real Madrid to score at least 3 goals against Sporting Gijon. I've gone over 2.5 goals in the Atletico Madrid-Osasuna game, and I've gone Barcelona to beat Real Sociedad, and obviously both 2 teams to score. That worked out at 18 to 1. Then our 6 on Ixa, I've gone Tottenham to beat Bournemouth, Millwall in League One to beat Northampton, Real Madrid to beat Sporting Gijon. I've gone Nice in League One to beat Nancy. In the Serie A, I've gone Fiorentina to beat Empoli and Roma to beat Atalanta. That worked out just over 9 to 1. If you're looking for the reason I haven't got any of the championship games is they play Friday, and by the time the show flights, it could be too late. Gav, I know you're a punter. What do you fancy over the weekend?
Well, my best bets for the weekend are both teams that are playing away from home. I think they're good value. And Man City, I think they will win.
Man City beat Southampton.
Man City beat Southampton.
Okay.
And I'm sticking my neck out and my boys to get beat by Chelsea.
Chelsea to beat Man United.
Chelsea to beat Man United.
Well,
I know I'm going to get
United
abused
supporter.
for this. But yep. I think it'll work at about 7-8 to 1. That's
okay.
I think it's
and
a good
the PSL,
double.
I know you're a follower
PSL,
there.
well, I'm a Sundowns boy. So my first league game was against Sundowns. I've always been a Sundowns supporter. I've got Sundowns to win and Kaizer Chiefs to win. I think that's the double for the PSL.
Well, the odds will be out later today. Gav, thanks for coming, joining us at short notice.
Thanks,
and
Alex.
that ends another week of our Onside SA Soccer Show. Have a good weekend.